हडफडे हांगच्या बर्च बाय रोमियो लेन हांगा आशिल्ल्या नायट क्लबाक उजो लागून 25 जाणांक मरण आयलो आनी सरकार आतां ह्या जी सद्या मॅजिस्ट्रियल इन्क्वायरी करता तातूंतल्यान सत्य भायर येतलें काय कितें. ताजे पयलीं सगळे जाणात की कलंगूट रिपब्लीक म्हणून जी आहा हो सबंद बीच बेल्ट थंय पूर्ण अनार्की, थंय खंयचेच कायदे लागनात, कसलेच नेम लागनात. खंयी बी हो जो पळय बीच ज्या बिचाचेर हो नायट क्लब आशिल्लो आमी सगळे जाणात तो सॉल्ट पॅन तें एक मिठागर थंय कशे तरेन कन्स्ट्रक्शन येवं शकता. म्हणजे तातूंत भितर सगळे इनवॉल्ड, लोकल आमदार, सरपंच, मामलेदार, तलाठी मेरेन सगळे आनी सगळे श्रीमंत, इतले श्रीमंत की तुमकां कल्पना येवची ना. ताका लागून सगळेच लोक तातूंत इनवॉल्व आसात काय कितें, कोणाकच काय पडून गेलें ना काय कितें. आनी आमी हांगा ताजेर चर्चा करतात. सडेतोड नायक कार्यावळींत आज आमी आपयले डॉक्टर ऑस्कर रिवेलो हांकां. दोतोर ऑस्कर हांणी आज एक सडेतोड असो लेख बरयला. त्याच नदरेन आमी आत्मचिंतन करताले आनी म्हाका दिसलें की दोतोरान आज ह्या डिबेटीक येवचें, चर्चा करची. दोतोर ही जी पळय कितें इन्सिडंट घडलो तुवें बी सामको अस्वस्थ आसतलो आनी तुवें ते अस्वस्थतेन हो आर्टिकल बरयला. दोतोर म्हाका सांग, तूं हें सगळें घडटा आसतना तुज्या मनान कितें आयलें?
खरें म्हणल्यार राजू, आय थिंक डेस्परेशन म्हणटात पळय ते आमी आतां जालें. गोंयचे लोक जे आसात पळय ते आमी सगळे आसात पळय ते गोंयचे प्रेमी जे आसात पळय ते फॉर अ लाँग टायम, फॉर डेकेड्स ऑन एंड वी वर डेस्परेट. पूण आतां आमच्या मनान अशें एक आयलां, इट्स नॉट अ सेन्स ऑफ डेस्परेशन एनी मोर, इट्स अ सेन्स ऑफ डिस्पॉन्डन्सी, इट्स अ सेन्स ऑफ ग्लूम, इट्स अ सेन्स दॅट दी एंड इज नियर. विच एवर वे यू सी इट, you can see that Goa is dead. It's not dying, it is dead. And then how do you resuscitate a dead man? That is the question. But I guess you have to try. तुम्ही आमी आसात पळय तेन्ना ह्या जगान उलोवपा जाय, प्रश्न करपा जाय. आनीक अशें एक गोंयचो जेन्ना इतिहास बरोवन वता पळय तेन्ना जेन्ना गोंय एक देवा खबर कितें जातलें पळय तें, इट विल बी लायक सम Jamaica. You remember there was that huge hurricane in Jamaica, and the whole of Jamaica has been destroyed completely. At some point of time, Goa will be destroyed completely, but at least there must be some record that there were people who stood up to fight against this absolute sacrilege that took place. ही जी घटना घडली पळय ती म्हाज्या प्रमाणे the analogy I can give you is Jallianwala Bagh. आज स्पेशली तूं म्हणटा पळय तशें कलंगूट रिपब्लीक, थंय कॉलोनायझेशन इज डन बाय द डेली बिग मनी, जस्ट एज द ब्रिटिश कॉलोनायज्ड इंडिया ड्युरिंग जलियांवाला बाग. द लोकल police officials or the security apparatus of the British during the British rule, they are today the sarpanches, the mamladars, the MLAs, the whoever of that particular area in the Kalangut beach belt. They are men. They are the Delhi lobbies people here in Goa, enforcing the Delhi lobbies law, not the law of the land of Goa.
Yes.
And the analogy to Jallianwala Bagh is hanga ya Birch Romeo Lane खंय आशिल्ली पळय ती क्लब, एकूच रस्तो आशिल्लो भायर सरपाक. थंय एकूच रस्तो आशिल्लो भायर सरपाक. आनी कोणे खून केलो जलियांवाला बागान, जनरल डायरान ऑर्डर दिली, पूण मारले पळय ते इंडियन सोल्जरानूच मारले हांकां न्ही. सो हांगाय हे मनीस हो उजो पेटलो पळय तो खुनी. आय डू नॉट कॉल दिस एन accident or an event by any stretch of imagination. This is nothing but institutionalized murder, particularly with this particular Romeo's Lane Birch by the thing. There have been innumerable numbers of complaints from everybody has asked for a stay order.
See, I have a record. December 2023, High Court calls it illegal. I have second thing, March 2024, High Court slams our Department of Tourism as silent spectator. May 25, demolition order is issued. Throughout 25, media and locals have expressed anger. So nothing is happening.
So can you imagine such an institutionalized protection to this particular structure when even the common man is picked up for some small violation? पूण एकूय दुसरें सांगता हांव की जलियांवाला बाग जेन्ना जाल्लो पळय तेन्ना देशभर एक आक्रोश तयार
निर्माण
जालो आणि द होल इंडिपेंडन्स मुवमेंट कॉट फायर.
येस,
दिस इज नेव्हर गोइंग टू हॅपन इन गोवा.
बिकॉज नो लोकल डायड.
या वन, नो लोकल डायड.
Yes.
टू, इवन इफ लोकल्स वर टू डाय. आम्ही गोंयकार आता सद्याक फक्त वी गो बाय एव्हरी वीकली न्यूज सायकल. सो माझ्या प्रमाणे वो आठवडो इज डिवोटेड टू रोमियोज लेन. Next आठवडो will be devoted to some other event.
Last week
or
it was
some
Pooja
other-
Naik.
Last week it was Pooja Naik. Next week it will be someone else and something else, and the circus will go on. But there will be no institutional reform at all.
सो
simply
दोतोर
because there is
दोतोर
no
ही पळय जी
political
आतां
reform.
मॅजिस्ट्रेल इन्क्वायरी केल्या तूं म्हणटा तातूंतल्यान कांय भायर येवपाना.
कांयच
बिकॉज लास्ट वीक इट वॉज रिपोर्ट ऑफ शिरगांव जात्रा.
कांयच ना.
थंय लोक मेले.
कांयच
थंय दॅट कमिटी देवस्थान कमिटी वॉज फायल्ड रिस्पॉन्सिबल. नथींग हॅपन. एक म्हयनो जालो कांय जायना.
कांयच जायना. कित्याक इलेक्शन आयली की
हय,
खंयचेंय इलेक्शन जावं तें जिल्हा पंचायत जावं, पंचायत इलेक्शन जावं किंवा असेंब्ली इलेक्शन आनी लोकसभा इलेक्शन जावं, we keep on rewarding these same people. You are trying to tell me that tomorrow Michael Lobo, with all the kind of money that he has and who is the godfather of that entire area,
Yes.
is not going to get elected, even if I don't know who, Vladimir Putin starts a political party in Kalangut, he is going to get elected simply because the people are there with him. So people are buying into this institutionalized murder of democracy in Goa.
सो तूं
that's the way it
म्हणटा
is.
रायट फ्रॉम MLA देर, सरपंच देर टू लोकल्स.
Obviously.
So locals are also involved.
Absolutely.
They are supporting this plan.
involved in the sense, माझ्या प्रमाणे इन्वॉल्व म्हणल्यार कितें, बारीक जो लोक आसा पळय तो, जो टॅक्सी ड्रायव्हर आसा पळय तो, जो बारीक धंदो करता पळय तो, ही इज डिपेंडंट ऑन परमिशन्स, ही इज डिपेंडंट ऑन सम अमाउंट ऑफ he has to cut the red tape to get his jobs done. So you have to go back to this sarpanch, you have to go back to these guys. So you have to genuflect before them. There is no organizational effort to be able to take on this government at all. I mean, you look at even this Zilla Panchayat election that is coming up now.
Yes.
What is your headline? Your headline, the BJP is sitting pretty, having declared its candidates, and your headlines are about whether RG can get into an alliance with Goa Forward, whether Congress is ditching AAP, whether AAP is doing its things in Delhi. I mean,
you are right.
So where is the confidence to be inspired in the local Goan population that something is possible to bring about political change? Because unless you bring about some kind of political change, I'm not talking about political parties. All political parties are the same. But we know who the culprits in Goa are. We know who are the big dons who control land, who control tourism, who control mining, mercifully is dead, who control the entire economy of Goa. There are 4 or 5 of them.
Correct.
And 4 or 5 of them decide the fate and destiny of Goa. They happen to be in the BJP today. They could be in the Congress tomorrow. But this
yes,
is the
yes.
problem with Goa. We do not the ones who are the worst are the ones who will definitely get elected. Michael Lobo, Marvin Gudino, Vishwajit Rane, I'll name whoever, Babush Montserrat. And the bigger tragedy, Raju, is this was about some unfortunate Jharkhand laborers and cooks from Nepal, etc., who died, and so therefore our anger and outrage will be there for 2-3 days. But tomorrow it could be my daughters. My daughters go very often to clubs. They go to parties. It could be Rohan County's children. It could be Vishwajit Rane's children. It could be Marvin Gudino's children. Michael Lobo is not, because they don't visit clubs. They own clubs. So the point is that tomorrow it could be any of our children caught up in this tragedy, in this fire, and nothing in our power can get them back to us. So if we are not interested in the security of our own children, you can imagine what kind of a terrible society we have become.
Yes. So दोतोर म्हाका एक सांग, आतां फ्युचरच काय ना आमकां. आमी आतां
Yeah.
पळय आमी तूं पळय म्हणटा सारकें खरें. हातूंत भितर MLAs involved, सरपंच involved, locals are patronizing everything. They are there to support their MLAs. सरपंच काल सरपंच हाडलो, लोक आयले. आतां सरपंच कितें म्हणटा, हातूंत भितर लोकल MLA तुमी कशे आपयना ताका विचारात. आनी आज MLA म्हणटा आमकां सगळें भायर येतलें सत्य. म्हणजे हातूंतल्यान आतां कितें हें आतां कशें हो तमाशा पळय तो चालू जाला, हेची पळय सर्कस चालू जाल्या. ह्या सर्कसीक आमी कशें मुखार वचप? आमी प्रेसवाले बोवाळ करतात, काय तुजे सारखे एक विजिलंट नागरीक आसात, ते आवाज उठयतात, तूं हांगा आयला, तूं उलयता, तूं आज आर्टिकल बरयला, तूं खूब अस्वस्थ जाला, आमीय खूब अस्वस्थ आसात. हातूंतल्यान आतां वाट कशी काडप? कारण हें आतां जर गोंय तर गोंयचें सामकें जर मेलां जर ते आनीक विकून उडयतले दिल्लीक. दिल्लीन ऑलरेडी प्रॉपर्टीज घेतल्यात, दिल्लीन ऑलरेडी आमची बीच घेतल्या, गोंयच चलोवपाक दितले दिल्लीक. कांय प्रमाणात पॉलिटिकली दिल्ली गोंय चलयताच, पूण आतां
see that Goa was always controlled by Delhi is a fact.
Yeah.
This is a fact other than from the time of Babu Sahib Bandodkar and Jack Sequeira, when there was some amount of control by Goans per se. From the 80s onwards, please don't tell us that the Congress did not control Goa through successive Congress governments. They also overthrew this one and overthrew that one through their governors. This whole circus of Goa being a colony of Goa, of Delhi. Is a given, a political colony of Delhi. But we are okay with that. But now once you become an economic colony of Delhi, of the Delhi builders, of the Delhi mafia as it were, of the entire money mafia as it were of Delhi,
yes,
then you have serious problems, because your whole economy now is outsourced to someone who is not local, who doesn't understand the local ethos, who doesn't understand the local culture, who doesn't understand the local environment, who understands nothing. So he is only interested in profit. आणि तुमकां सोल्युशन जाय जाल्यार, आय नो दिस इज गोइंग टू बी कॉन्ट्रोवर्शियल, पण हांव म्हणटलो, म्हाका कांय ना म्हणपाचें कांयच ना. एकूच सोल्युशन आसा गोंयांत. म्हाका सांगनाका की आनी कोणा काँग्रेसी काडात म्हणून परत आनी गोवा फॉवर्डी काडात म्हणून परत. ही सगळीं नाटकां चलतात पळय ती 1.5 वर्सांक सोडून माझी रेव्होल्युशनरी गोवन्स पार्टी. आय स्टील बिलीव ओनली इन देम, बिकॉज एटलीस्ट दे हॅव नॉट बीन टेस्टेड इन दीस डर्टी वॉटर्स एज येट. पूण and many of my Aam Aadmi Party friends, सोडून तांकां this whole circus of electing, of this whole secularism, communalism debate, as I told you, is all about getting elected in their constituencies and then jumping into the BJP when the BJP comes to power in 2027. The only solution we have for Goa, and this is, I've been drumbeating this very often, is that the only people that these ministers who are absolutely selling Goa for a song from the chief minister downwards, the only two people they are terrified of are Narendra Modi and Amit Shah. These are the two people they are terrified of.
yes.
So if, for God's sake, those of you who have got enough amount of contacts in Delhi can get to Narendra Modi ji and Amit Shah and tell them to please issue a diktat to these guys to stop constructions in Goa, to stop this land selling, to stop this absolute devastation of Goa. One real hardcore cracking of the whip on all of them, each and every one of them will fall in place. Otherwise, there is nothing, absolutely nothing that can save Goa.
म्हाका दोतोर एकच सांग, आय ऑल्सो बिलीव इन इट. फुडले 10 वर्सां टोटल कसलोच आमकां विकास नाका, कसलीच आमकां आर्थीक उन्नती गोंयची नाका. दर्यावेळ आनी टुरिजम बंद जावपाक जाय. मायनींग इंडस्ट्री 10 वर्सां बंद जावपाक जाय. क्लॉड आल्वारेसी तेच म्हणटा, सामकें एक ब्लॉकेट तयार करत, आमकां नाका विकास. इतले पूल, इतले रस्ते सगळे जाले, गोंयच्या लोकांचें कल्याण तकले वयल्यान जसो पावस पडटा न्ही तशें जालें. पूण अशें शक्य आसा? कारण पॉलिटिक्साक लागता पयसो, दिल्ली मागता पयसो, लोकांकय जाय पयसो. प्रत्येक वोटाक गोंयचे पडटात 25,000 रुपया. हे खंयचे म्हणजे सामान्य मनीस टोटल करप्ट जाला. गोंयचो बारीकांतलो बारीक मनीस करप्ट जाला. तो सोदता पयशे, मागीर दिल्ली सोदता पयशे, राजकारणाक जाय पयशे, सामान्य मनशाक जाय पयशे.
ना
तशें
राजू,
चलो
ना, हें हांव तुजें मान्य करना. कित्याक खंयच्याय डेमोक्रेसीन पळया, if unless you take the communist states like China and Russia and whichever are ruled by one man, but in any democracy, any Western democracy, the key thing is money. Money drives an election.
Yeah.
There is no doubt about it. Whether you have an election like that of Mamdani versus Cuomo in New York City, or across America, or across Europe, or in India, yes, money drives an election. But you need to have clean, accountable money to come into the election, not this kind of unaccountable money that comes in crores and crores of rupees through cash transactions to be distributed to individual voters. But so please involve money in elections, but keep it transparent. And most importantly, you cannot destroy what you are trying to drive your economy on. I cannot understand hoteliers. I cannot understand the tourist industry, the tourism industry. You've got so much of investment in this place, and you want to, you are allowing the complete savage destruction of this place. It's not going to affect a doctor like me. The more the smog, more the pollution, the more the illnesses. I mean, I make a hefty buck. But you are the ones whose investment is going to go down the drain simply because Goa is not going to remain Goa. So you have to have something like a plan for Goa, and a plan. I'm not saying you completely stop all development, but a plan for Goa and stick to that plan. And as I said, the orders about sticking to that plan for Goa, this order must come unambiguously from the center, from the two topmost powerful men in this country. One bark to one order to all these little fellows here in Goa, and this will fall into place. I plead that this happens.
तू पळय एक आमच्याकडे एक म्हणणे भाबडा आशावाद. तो एक आशावाद घेऊन बसला की मोदी आणि शाह इंटरफेअर करतले. हे 33 जाणां ताणें घेतल्यात. तातूंत भितरले कितले जाण टेंटेड, कितले जाण स्वार्थी, कितले जाण करप्ट, आनी ते करप्शन करपाक आयल्यात. ऑल द बीच बेल्ट हांवें म्हणलें पळय तुका, कलंगूट रिपब्लीक सगळे बीजेपीन गेल्यात. सो ते अशे तरेचो सपोर्ट ना जाल्यार कित्याक वतले पार्टीन?
ना समजूंक ना तुजो प्रश्न.
नाही, म्हजो प्रश्न असो, तूं म्हणटा की मोदी आनी शाहान इंटरफेअर जावचें आनी गोंयाक एक जे पळय मातशें क्लीन गव्हर्मेंट दिवचें, हे सगळो भ्रश्टाचार बंद करचो. पूण सगळे लोक आज बीजेपीच्या आलाशेरे खाला आयल्यात, सो दॅट दे शूड गेट द प्रोटेक्शन.
So that is exactly what I'm trying to say, is there we have to reverse the trend, no? Because do not tell me that there was no corruption when the Congress government was in power. Do not tell me that when Sonia Gandhi was the de facto leader of Goa, we had to do GBA, we had to do everything to try and save whatever little bit that there was left of Goa, no? So you have that particular person at the center who wields influence on the local politics in the state. So in this case, if Prime Minister Narendra Modi says he loves Goa and he thinks that Goa is the land that gives him luck, etc., etc., we just hope at least he opens his eyes and he sees what is happening in Goa. Or at least somebody opens his eyes.
You have nicely given an example of GBA. आता काँग्रेस इंटरफियर्ड जाली गोंयान बिकॉज GBA इलेक्शनान भितर काँग्रेसीक उडयता काय अशी परिस्थिती निर्माण जाली. आज त्या हाका आतां 15 वर्स जावन गेली. गोंयान एक एजिटेशन जायना, कोण रस्त्यार येना, कोणाक कांय उलोवपाचें ना, कोणाक
एजिटेशन करता, एजिटेशन येता. कितले लोक आसात एजिटेशन करता. तुमी मिडिया सामकी तांकां हें कवर करना.
आमी कवर करतात. हांव म्हणटा अशे तरेचे रिएक्शन कित्याक येना. फाटले 2 दीस जाले म्हजे कोतान आझाद मैदानाचेर तरी 100 लोक येवपाक जाय आशिल्ले. की कितें जालां, हे जे पळय आतां 25 लोक मेले ते आमचे न्हय, पूण आमकां दुख्ख आसा. ते गोंयच्या गोंयान आयिल्ले, ते काम करताले, ते आमचे सेवक.
तेंच जे आमी म्हणलां पळय तें, आमी बरयलां पळय तें, की लोकांक इतली अशी अपेक्षा सोडून दिली ह्या लोकांनी न्ही, की कांयच जावचें ना ह्या सरकारान, पूण ह्या लोकल सरकारा कडेन पूण कांयच जावचें ना, कांयच बदलपाचें ना. कितेंय म्हणून मुख्यमंत्रीन, कितेंय म्हणून रोहन कावंटेन, आनी कितेंय म्हणून विश्वजीत राणेन, कितेंय म्हणून तांणी, आमी जाणा की कांयच बदल येवचो ना म्हणून. ऑन द ग्राउंड देर इज गोइंग टू बी एब्सोल्युटली नो चेंज. दिस एवरीबडी फील्स. You get that feeling in your bones that this is a helpless situation. So all that you do, what you say is agitation, or agitations you did in your youth, or whatever agitations I've done in whatever things. We have come out in the streets simply because there was no social media. Today everybody is agitating on social media. Yes. So social media is full of comments and reactions on this, which is an agitation on the streets. It doesn't have to be on the streets. It is there in social media. So not that people are not angry. It's just that people are completely fed up of even wanting to waste their time coming out in the streets and screaming their lungs out.
So तू म्हणटा ही जी पळय आतां इन्क्वायरी केल्या, एक्स डायरेक्टर ऑफ पंचायत, एक्स डायरेक्टर ऑफ pollution control board, some other secretaries, nothing is going to happen.
Nothing is going to happen. And many of them are reasonably good officers, I hear. I do not
yes,
know.
I also heard.
I've heard that they're reasonably good officers.
Yes.
But this is a complete eyewash. You've just taken some random people, thrown them under the bus, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Get us. See, if the BJP is serious of wanting to show us, and especially BJP spokesperson who comes, many BJP spokespersons who will come to defend this incident after about 7 days of the anger going off.
Yes.
What they have to do is, one, absolutely pin the owner of this club, not some manager, not some a random little.
They are searching for this Saurav Luthra and Gaurav Luthra.
Yeah, Saurav Luthra and Gaurav Luthra are going to be the next Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya of Goa. Finished. They're just going to disappear somewhere else. But
Yes.
you got to get these two. Second important point, if you really want to prove, if Pramod Sawant wants to prove that he's genuinely serious about cracking down on this,
Yeah.
I suggest that he takes lessons from a BJP government itself. You know which BJP government? The UP government. I mean, Yogi Adityanath's politics, you may like it or you may dislike it. I had been to Lucknow 3 years back or 4 years back and I asked him, Yogi का चक्कर क्या है? Yogi का जादू क्या है? आप लोग योगी योगी क्यों बोलते हैं? So that taxi driver told me, and you always get the best political knowledge from a taxi driver. He said, साहब, हमें जो सुरक्षा मिल गई है यूपी में ना 30-40 साल में नहीं मिली थी जब तक योगी नहीं आए. So whether you like his politics or you hate his politics, whether you think his demolitions are justified, not justified, judicial, extrajudicial, but he's shown you what cracking the whip down means. So if Pramod Sawant wants to learn something, he should go to Lucknow for 5 days, learn the art of demolition and come and demolish every illegal structure that is there on the beach belt, which is another potential birch on the Romeo Lane, which is another potential fire hazard, which is another potential disaster waiting to kill our children tomorrow.
Doctor, most of these constructions, most of these illegal restaurants, most of these clubs are owned by either MLA or the sarpanches or the punches.
So I don't know.
They are all key players of BJP. True. So how you expect Pramod Sawant to do it?
You have to throw open challenges. No, they are telling us that they're going to order magisterial inquiry and they're going to give us justice. We are going to keep on throwing our challenges forward. Our job is to throw the challenge forward to them.
Yes.
Instead of taking the next thing, what he might do after a suggestion like this, he might take one small little beach shack that belongs to a prominent Congress politician in South Goa, demolish it and say, see, we have demolished this illegal structure. That is also possible.
Because MLA ताजेच एक building totally illegal.
आणि हायकोर्ट की सुप्रीम कोर्टान ऑर्डर दिल्ली मरे ती एमएलए म्हणले मायकल लोबोची ती नावा काढया मरे मायकल लोबोची कितें ती निजारी हॉटेल बी ऑर्डर आयल्या आनी ती डिमॉलिश करपाक ती पुणी डिमॉलिश करून दाखय दे आर नॉट इवन ओबेइंग सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑर्डर्स दे हैव रीच्ड अ स्टेज लायक दिस आई मीन As a matter of fact, हांव सांग तुका समज फाल्यां Donald Trump, who is ruling America on his whim, he cares a hoot about institutions, cares a hoot about Supreme Court, he cares a hoot. ताका एक inferiority complex जातलो तो गोंया आयल जाल्यार सामको inferiority complex की बाबा हे आनी कितें चलता म्हाज्यान सुद्दां हें करपा मेळना आशिल्लें म्हणून तशें जालां.
यू आर रायट. तूं सुप्रीम कोर्ट म्हणटा न्ही, हांवें तुका सांगलां डिसेंबर 2023 सावन फाटलीं 2 वर्सां हायकोर्ट वेगवेगळे इन्स्टिट्यूशन बडी मारीत आसात ही तोड म्हणून नायट क्लब तोड. देर इज नो डेफिनेशन समथींग इन इंडिया वॉट इज नायट क्लब. नायट क्लबा भितर कशी सुरक्षा आसची, ते फायर सर्विसीस नेम कशें आसचे, नथींग इज देर. सो एक्सपेक्टेशन कशें करता तुमी, कारण आमचे कडेन सबंद बीच बेल्डार हें जें कितें नायट क्लब टू वेरियस कॅबरेज टू वेरियस थिंग्स आयल्या. दिस वॉज आमी जो काल पळय जो कितें पळयला इट इज अ कॅबरे. इट इज अ कॅबरे. आनी ती पळय डान्सर आशिल्ली सम रशियन कंट्रीज उझबेकिस्तान थंयची they don't have the proper license to operate in Goa.
That, see, to me these things are, you know, whether it's a Russian dancer, I am not a moral prude, so whether you're a Russian dancer, whether you're dancing cabaret, whether you are having you know, consensual sex, whether you are gambling, I mean, I care a damn, but follow the law. The law does not permit you to build a structure on a salt pan with wooden structures with God knows pyrotechnics inside and put so many lives at risk. Just follow the law. That is what is just, that law is only applicable to me. If tomorrow I am not wearing my seat belt or I don't have my driving license, maka talaw pottoloch. And then, oh, you know, दोतोर ऑस्कराक तालाव पडलो पळयलो मरे तो व्हडलो उलयता शापोतेर सारको व्हडलो शापोतेरच हांव पूण शापोतेर व्हडलो आनी ताका तालाव तोच म्हणटा आनी ताका मेळ्ळें पळय तें. But this is ridiculous, no? We are putting today, forget about anything, our future and our environmental health and our medical health at risk. We are putting the lives of our children at risk today with the state of affairs that is going on. Whether it's on the roads of Goa, whether it's on the beaches of Goa, whether it's on the hills of Goa, wherever the hell it is, but we are putting the lives of our future generation at stake.
दोतोर हांवें म्हणलें तशें कलंगूट रिपब्लीक आनी तूं म्हणटा लॉ. लॉ जर हाडलो जाल्यार सबंद टुरिजम बंद पडटलें.
ना.
गव्हर्मेंट इज गोइंग टू गिव दीस एक्सक्यूज.
No, I don't think so, Raju. I don't think so. Cleaning
From
up.
casinos to night clubs.
Maybe we require a little more to drown. Bali had this problem. Bali in Indonesia had a terrible record of God knows drugs and nightclubs and partying and everything. And if you remember, I think it was in 2005 when there was another terrible tragedy like this. I think it was a fire, if I'm not mistaken, which killed a large number of Australian citizens.
Yeah.
And Bali cleaned up its act. Today, for instance, there are so many no-go areas in Bali. You can't construct in Bali. Things have come down, but that whole temperature of frenzied tourism has come down in Bali. This is possible in Goa. Sensible tourism is possible in Goa.
Yes.
What is not possible is greedy tourism, because our land mass is limited. It's only this much.
Yes.
Now they are eyeing poor Sindhudurg and they are eyeing Karwar. Those simple people, that simple folk that are there, at least here in Goa, we think that we are a little too smart. But those simple folk, they're going to swallow them inside out the moment they finish off Sindhudurg and Karwar in another 10 years.
So governmentan जर immediate action घेतली ना, गोंय म्हणटा तूं आतां तूं म्हणलांच गोंय मेलें म्हणून, तर तें मडें आतां कुसतलें अशें तूं दिसता.
100%. No, there is no doubt in my mind. आमकां फक्त वास घेवपाचो तितको थंयच उरले आमी आतां.
Exactly. So this is going to be a very, very tragic situation.
Yes,
आनी आमच्या हातान आतां गोंय उरलें ना.
तें उरलें ना पळय तें, that is a choice that we have made. तें उरलें ना पळय तें are choices that we make at the ballot box, at the time of the elections, at the time of electing these same guys again and again. That is the choice that we make. But what I'm trying to say is at least respect certain verdicts of institutions that are there in power. No, High Court orders are not respected, Supreme Court orders are not respected, Goa Coastal Zone Management appellate orders are not respected. How on earth do you expect a functioning democracy to go on like this? It will become anarchy at some point of time.
Yes.
It will become Colombia. There will be drug killings. That if all these killings that are not taking place are not drug killings already, which get reported as somebody shot off a gun, somebody shot off this. For God alone knows whether they are drug killings itself.
Yes.
More than even this beach belt going on sex, prostitution. What is absolutely destroying the youth of Goa today are drugs.
Yes.
We see in private practice in a little hospital like ours so many drug related cases that come for admission. So many
Tragic.
tourists who come.
Tragic.
So many people who come into GMC. You send your reporter out and get the number of people who get admitted in GMC, especially during the tourism season, with drug overdosage. It will be fantastic, the numbers that you will get.
Oh.
So this is the level. आणि आदले जे आशिल्ले पळय ते आमी म्हणून आमी परत आमी जाणटे जे आसात, आतां जाणटे म्हणपाचे आमी, पण आमी जाणटे जे आसात पळय ते अजून ते कम्युनल, सेक्युलर, क्रिस्तांव, हिंदू, बामण, नॉन बामण घेवन आसात. आतां सद्याक फ्रॉम काणकोण रायट अप टू हरमळ, वेदर यू आर क्रिस्तांव, वेदर यू आर हिंदू, वेदर यू आर बहुजन समाज, वेदर यू आर बामण, I can tell you that there will be at least 15 to 20% families whose kids are totally on drugs, are completely drug addicts, and who are destroying the family and who are destroying themselves. 15 to 20%, I will tell you, on the beach belt are doing drugs.
Thank you दोतोर ऑस्कर बाब.
Thank you.
आमी म्हणिल्ले कार्यावळीक सुरवातेकच कोणाच्या हाताक रगत लागला काय म्हणून, पण तुवें डायरेक्ट म्हणलें की गोंय मेलें म्हणून. म्हाका दिसतालें गोंयाक थोडी दुगदुगी उरल्या. म्हाका आनी एका म्हज्या डॉक्टर फ्रेंडान फोन करून सांगिल्लो की गोंय आमचें मेलें आं म्हणून. आनी खरेंच आतां गोंयाक हें जें पळय मेलां तें कशें मेलां? फक्त राजकारण्यांनी मारलें, सत्ताधारी पक्षान मारलें, ऑपोजिशनान मारलें? म्हाका दिसता आमी सगळ्यांनी मारलें, सामान्य मनशान मारलें. आनी फकत बीच बेल्टार न्ही, भायरय लोक जे फकत पळयतात ती तटस्थपणान कसलीच प्रतिक्रिया दिनात, तांकां कांय पडून गेल्लें ना. म्हाका दिसता तेय बी जापसालदार आसात गोंयचें हें मडें निर्माण करपाक. आनी म्हाका दिसता आमच्या हातान आतां कांयच ना. अशे तरेन जेन्ना आमी वतात तेन्ना एक हुस्को करपाचो प्रश्न. म्हाका दिसता ऑस्करा कडेन उलयता आसतना ताणें आनीकय एक सांगलें, सामकें हातांतल्यान भायर वचूंक ना. तो दिल्ली कडेनय पळयता, अमित शाह आनीक शाहा कडेन, आनीक आमच्या प्रायम मिनिस्टरा कडेनय पळयता की कितें तरी घडटलें ते प्रश्नाक, गोंयच्या प्रश्नाक हस्तक्षेप करतले. म्हाका दिसता हस्तक्षेप तांणी करचे पयलीं एक आंदोलन, एक चळवळ गोंय वाचोवपा खातीर कित्याक जावची न्ही. इतल्यान हो प्रश्न आमी तुमकां करून इतल्यान आमची कार्यावळ सोंपयतात. ऑस्कर बाब, तूं आमच्या कार्यावळीन आयलो तुजें बिजी शेड्यूल आसतनाय, आनी तुवें सदां भशेन कांय ठोस अशी विधानां केली, ठोस अशी भुमिका आमच्या मुखार मांडली. हांव तुका गोमंतक टीव्हीच्या वतीन तुजे उपकार मानता.
थँक्यू.
पळयत रावात गोमंतक टीव्ही.